Tragedy knows no boundaries, and even the glamorous lives of celebrities can't always be spared.
I'm Shayne Lamas, and you all might know me from The Bachelor, 12th season.
I know this sounds so cliche, but love at first sight, and 5 years later, unbelievable, I'm still here. So it was towards the end of 2011, and I wanted to extend the family. It happened really quick.
We got pregnant right away, and it's like perfect. I had a wonderful Sunday. 9 o'clock, all of a sudden, I do not feel right.
She just collapsed. I called 911. They rushed her to the hospital.
You're being wheeled in, and you're going through the double doors, and you're still holding onto your loved one's hand, and you're going, and the hand is slipping farther and farther away. And then I look back, and the double doors are shutting, and there's my mother-in-law, my husband, and my father-in-law, and everybody and just watching me. And I was looking at them going like, oh my God, like, please let me be back with them.
I just remember the doctors coming out and the nurses coming out, and I would see blood all over them. And they're like, Nick, she's losing a lot of blood, and we're trying to stop the bleeding. At this point, they removed my child. They told me the child was gone, and now we're trying to save your wife's life.
Shayne had died on the operating table. They lost a pulse, and they revived her, but it was really touch and go.
The doctor did tell me 80% of the time the person dies, and Shayne is just lucky to be alive.
I'm dealing with the fact that my daughter almost died. I'm dealing with the fact that she lost my second grandchild. And you know what it comes down to is that your daughter's okay.
It wasn't until day 5 or 6 where the doctors were like, okay, we need to tell her she had an emergency hysterectomy.
At that moment in time, that was my world ending. And I was just done. Like, what? You're telling me that I've lost my child, and now you've taken away any chance of me being able to carry a child again? I mean, for me, it was the most devastating news I could ever hear. In that moment, I said, Shayne, I work in fertility. I can help you. And I would love to be your surrogate if you want that. So I think that was kind of like the first step to her.
And I was just kind of standing there like, like, did you just say that she was going to be my daughter's surrogate? Wow.
Could not wait to go see if my ovaries could produce eggs. I did the IVF, and miracle, beautiful, beautiful eggs.
Unbelievable. Now here we are, and Shauna's 5 months pregnant, and I'm about to have a son, knock on wood.
We just kind of look at it like God gave us another chance to extend our family, and we're so grateful for that opportunity.
Please welcome Lorenzo Lamas' wife, Shauna, Nick Ritchie, and his wife, Shayne Lamas, to the show. And Dr. Ashley and Shayne, talk through, no expectations anything was wrong with that pregnancy, right?
None whatsoever.
Everything was fine.
I mean, I just had the normal morning sickness, but that was normal. And I didn't have that with my first pregnancy. So, I wasn't used to that. But everything else...
And you had been to your OBGYN.
Absolutely.
Right? And what you had, to be clear, is the pregnancy implants in the uterus. In your case, most likely, it sounds like right on your previous C-section scar.
Exactly, yes.
Which is the thinnest, most vulnerable part of the uterus. And then as that pregnancy grew, with the placenta and the blood supply that is significant by about 13 weeks, it ruptured through that C-section scar in your uterus. The bladder sits right in front of the uterus, and the amount of blood loss is potentially catastrophic. You are lucky to be alive. This is one of the most devastating OBGYN surgical emergencies that anyone can imagine. It's very, very difficult surgery, and obviously you were in the right place, and you also, I believe, had some kind of divine help guiding you through it, because you're lucky to be alive.
And to turn the corner, here we are, almost a year later, and Shauna and Lorenzo to basically say, okay, we're going to do this as a family, and How did that all transpire?
To be honest, I don't know what got into them or my father. But I do know one thing in that Shauna's always wanted to carry and create life. And it kind of was like just the right timing, a blessing. I needed somebody to carry my child. She's always wanted to carry a child. So we're like, hey.
So I have to ask, Lorenzo,
This is where things get
the obvious question. What is it like having your wife, who's roughly the same age as your daughter, carry your
Younger.
grandchild?
She's younger.
Okay, sorry, that's what I meant.
It's okay, don't worry.
I try not to think about the age too much. You know, this is the woman that I love, my wife. And we had talked about having a baby early on when we got married. We've been married, it'll be 5 years coming up. And we decided not to have our own children because we're raising my 3 teenage daughters. And
you already have, like,
there's a
7.
good 4 years left. Yeah. There's 4 years left
you're busy.
in that
Yeah.
whole scenario. So after my youngest is, 18, we're going to be free to travel and do all
Enjoying
that stuff.
yourselves.
But I didn't want my wife not to have the experience that she told me that she wanted to have. In other words, she wanted to be a surrogate before this.
More with this incredible story when we return. We're back with Lorenzo Lamas, his wife Shauna, Nick Ritchie, and his wife Shayne. But first things first, I want to bring into the conversation fertility expert Dr. David Lamas-Richie, because obviously for Shauna to be a surrogate, it worked out that Shayne had great eggs, if you will.
Right,
And
I didn't even think they even text.
so you were able to basically create a baby that Shauna could then carry for them.
Yeah, well, we were very, very fortunate to have a procedure called pre-implantation genetic screening, where we genetically tested the embryos to make sure they were indeed normal. They wanted to only place a single embryo. We were very lucky placing a single embryo. We had about a 55 to 60% chance of success. Prior to any of the procedures, we had to evaluate Shauna, who had never been pregnant before, and generally you want, a pregnant woman who has already had the experience, the uterus works and all of those things before you go forward with surrogacy. But clearly this is a very intimate family, and I wanted to be able to help them achieve their dream of extending the family.
Shauna, I want to ask you, because obviously this has changed your relationship without question. What is it like for you to be carrying Shayne and Nick's baby?
It's like the best thing in the entire world because I get to see Nick and Shayne so much more and press, and we're just closer than we've ever been before, and I get to harass them and send them pictures of my stomach. And I'm like, your baby's moving. It's the size of a banana this week. It's just fun, and it really has brought us just infinitely closer. It doesn't feel strange. It's just like love.
It doesn't feel weird. When you would think about it, it'd be like weird, that's weird. But
it's actually amazing. She's doing all the work.
yeah, like I can go on vacation to Hawaii, and I'm like,
Nick, there will be plenty of work after birth, as you know.
So to
Trying out my
say,
fun now.
Shayne, to say that you're grateful would probably be an understatement.
oh, 100-fold. Like, she knows, and I mean,
She's
I
a true.
can't-
Shauna's a true angel.
and let alone, can I just say, the perfect person to carry a child, okay? Because, perfect. She likes being pregnant.
Well, I have to, Shauna, applaud you
you.
for what you're doing for your extended family and for all of the women who serve as surrogates. We've had several on the show in the past, and whether you give a baby up for adoption or you carry as a surrogate, you are giving someone the most precious
But you
gift.
have to have a great doctor, and Dr. Lamas.
He's our rock star doctor.
I have to tell you.
And Dr. Lamas-Richie, thank you also for being here today and for what you do. And is it fair to say this baby is going to be showered with love?
Yeah,
A little bit.
just a little bit.
I think we're all getting really what we desire in this scenario.
Yeah, I agree.
Shayne and Nick are getting a wonderful new baby. Shauna gets to carry a child and deliver a child, which is what she wants more than anything. I'm getting to take care of my pregnant wife, and I don't have to take the baby home after the hospital.
Well, we are just so happy that you all have been able to come together, and we obviously, you know, wish this baby nothing but joy, and I know this baby's going to be loved. Thank you for sharing your story.
No, thank you for having me.
And best of luck going forward. We'll be right back.